And let's go down the line and introduce everyone.
Hi. I host another book club show called The Sword and Laser on Geek and Sundry, and thank you. And I also do another technology show called Techzilla on Revision 3, and I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy that they've introduced me to many wonderful and not so wonderful books I've read in the past.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it. Felicia, if you watch Geek and Sundry, my YouTube channel, you will know my face more than you would want to know. And I write and I produce and I act in a lot of web things, as well as some occasional TV.
I'm Bonnie Burton. That's it. So, why I have a show I can't announce here, but I was on the Guild as a guest star that didn't talk behind a really hot actress, and I was wearing Yoda ears the whole time. So you might remember me from the Guild. And then I worked on the Death Star for I worked on the Death Star for 9 years. That's all I'm saying.
Lucas, yeah. Lucas. You gave me so much free stuff.
I did.
I was kind of bummed because I was like, oh, no more free
stuff. I know. I worked
at free stuff.
Sorry. Oh, shut up.
Well, it was 2 or 3 things.
Yeah. So I worked at Lucasfilm for a while. Well, you'll get free stuff. I'll give you googly eyes later.
Okay.
I'm Kyla. That's how you say my name. Now you know.
Yay.
Yay. I write for Nerdist and Game Ranks, and I've written for a lot of different places. That's it. I'm unemployed. So
Aww.
That's it.
She broke her heel.
I broke my heel.
So if you see her limping, it's not an
You
affectation.
guys have drugs.
Yeah.
Serious, like Tijuana style drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. If you see me
call on
limping,
Twitter.
I don't just walk like that. So you don't have to be like, oh, the poor thing. It's just temporary.
If they're following you on Twitter, it's almost like, oh, wow, that's a lot of Viking.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Viking and fantasies.
Yay! Hashtag. So, I did this, there's no form to this. I mean, we're just going to talk, and then we're going to ask, you guys could ask questions. Mostly, probably ask questions. But I started this because I bought vaginalfantasy.com about 5 years ago. This is not a new thing. I actually discovered my love of these kind of books because I got a Kindle. And then I bought all those books that I was too embarrassed to read. I always wanted those heaving bosom books. And, it was too embarrassing. My grandma, and I think this is a good topic actually, what is your first exposure to romance books?
My dad actually gave me a copy of Kushiel's Dart.
What?
Yeah, and actually I spoke to him about this recently because I was telling him about the book club, and he was like, yeah, when I gave you that book, I had to make a choice about whether or not this was a good thing to do. And then I decided, you can handle it. And so yeah, my dad was my first exposure to all things sci-fi fantasy, and also apparently erotic sci-fi fiction as well.
Surprisingly, that book is not even that naughty.
It's
really.
Well, did you get? Who here has read it? Either for the book club or
Oh, she did.
She's like, yeah. It was our book pick for the last month for Vaginal Fantasy, and it was nice to kind of get back into that book and become reacquainted with the characters because it was my first introduction. I think I talked about that on one of the episodes.
Yeah, we missed you last time.
I know.
It's okay. We'll talk a little bit about that book, actually, if you have any questions about that book specifically.
All 912 pages of it.
We can all talk about how to pronounce everything in the book, because I think we all say everything differently.
Alqueen.
Alquin.
That's
Alquin.
I was thinking it. I was saying it.
And Phaedra.
You did. You were the one.
We heard
Virginia.
No.
We heard you. If you yell at your computer, we hear that stuff.
Can we always get the title right? How do we say it? Kushiel. All right. Awesome.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You are a reference right now.
My power Google in this room.
Like I said, it was more the Kindle that opened up the world of this.
Although now I have a folder that's called Vaginal Fantasies, so if anyone ever steals my what's the what?
I didn't think you could make a folder in a Kindle.
Yeah, I've got all my stuff, all my book clubs are in different folders.
Wow.
Who here still reads paper books like me? Thank you. Thank you.
All of you buy these books with the covers on them. I like you even more.
3 bookshelves.
3 bookshelves of them?
Like 3 5-shelf bookshelves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, my grandma, being she's a nurse, I guess she liked Nurse Harlequins. So I would sneak into the laundry room and I would steal Nurse Harlequin. And these are like 1960 Harlequins. So it was like, oh, they passionately embraced. And I was like, ooh, it's naughty. I claim this book. And it was always nurse fiction. fiction, and I never edited it up later that, boy, she's a nurse. Yeah, so that was my first exposure, and then I left it forever. I read a lot of like romance-heavy fantasy stuff, like Kushal's Dart and stuff, but then getting into the heavy-duty, embarrassing romance.
It's funny how stuff you start noticing, like sexy scenes in just regular fiction too, and you're like, oh, this is pretty good. Like Hyperion by Dan Simmons, which is like a classic, right? Like sci-fi novel. And there was some pretty hot and heavy, like better than some of the stuff we've been reading in our books.
Can you just really cut and paste that?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, okay, let's just do that. So my mom was a hippie, so she didn't read any of that stuff. But my dad.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's no hippie romance novels?
Maybe Planet of the Cave Bear? Is that a hippie romance? Kind of.
Yeah.
They are. They're free and easy. I don't know.
They're
There's a
hairy.
lot of sex. Yeah, there's stuff like that. And my mom had The Joy of Sex, which I guess is sort of romantic. But if you look at the 1970s version, it's like Bob Ross having sex with like. Are you guys old enough to know who Bob Ross is?
Yeah.
He's she's 3. Happy Trees. Big white man fro.
He's had a kind of resurgence on YouTube, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And Tumblr, especially Tumblr.
So my dad would read mystery novels like the Ed McBain novels and stuff like that. So all the hard-boiled mystery books always had sex scenes in it. So I would look through his books and find the sex scenes, which probably explains why I don't read romance books. I like books with good sex scenes and murder and violence.
We know.
But not so much like hugging, bosom, embrace, we're soulmates. No, I'm more like, like mysterious femme fatale, and then bang gone, and then bang gone. Okay, let me clear up something real quick here. So I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan. Thank you. Putting the love in Lovecraft. Thank you. And I do like tentacles. And I'm just saying there's a new book that came out that's Cthulhu erotica that I might force these ladies to read since I've had to read all their favorite books. It's time for tentacle time. It's tentacle time.
I saw one hentai accidentally. I thought it was an anime. It's like, oh, there's a unicorn.
They made me watch it in college.
Yeah.
In one of my college classes, in my masculinities class.
Oh.
Yeah, we had to watch about, like stuff like the male gaze and blah, blah, blah. And then there was tentacle porn. So that was
For the longest time, I thought male gaze was just Castro. Like, I just thought male gaze.
Oh, wait, what is male gaze?
I don't know.
Wait, what is it?
Like, it's the eyes, when I'm like,
it's like how men like perceive a female.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a course on this?
Yeah. Well, it's like thing. Like gender studies stuff.
But you're just studying how a guy looks across a room.
No, it's like how they see you.
How they
perceive. Surely someone can explain this better.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Wait.
Society has a male view on women. All of our societies, like feminine, like we like objectify women.
It's like beer goggles. It's beer goggles, isn't it? It's beer goggles.
Thank you for clearing up what they could not. Okay,
And then Kyla has an answer. So by the way, in atypical vaginal fantasy form, we totally ignored her to answer the next question.
Why is Kyla not talking?
I'm just gonna go.
Aww.
No more tentacles.
You're talking about romance.
It's all you.
The first, a friend of my mom's, a friend that she was dating no, I'm kidding. Oh god, terrible joke. I'm sorry.
When Dad was
funny.
away.
Yeah, that's not even funny. No, a friend of my mom's, lady friend, gave me Stephen Donaldson's The Mirror of Her Dreams book. Yeah, and those are, I loved them. And there's quite a bit of sex in them, and I think I was like in my teens. So it seemed like super hot and heavy. And I think that's where it started. And then I was just mostly sci-fi fantasy for forever, and then when I became friends with Felicia, you were tweeting, or maybe we just talked about the Eloisa James book.
Eloisa James was the first author that I was like, oh my god, this is really romance. It's gonna be embarrassing. I was like, whoa, this is actually really good. And then you started doing it, picking up on it, and we would read together pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And we talked about forming a book, like a blog, like a review blog.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what was the best forum for it, and then it finally happened.
It happened because Google sent me an email, and they were like, hey, we have this new thing called Hangouts. What do you want to do with it? And I'm like, I'm really busy. And I was thinking, what do I do that I would do anyway that would be zero effort on my part? Emailing? No. Nobody wants to do a hangout on emailing. Oh, romance novels. So that's how I came to be. And I thought of my friends who would be like the most interesting perspective, because me and Kyla have like, you know, a similar sensibility, but not completely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's complementary.
Complementary, yeah. And then these guys have like opposing, completely opposite.
Why did you ask me to join the group? I'm curious. Behind the comic relief that drinks a lot? Because I understand.
Yes.
There's a romance poster of you made for the guild in your own episode. Did you not think that would inspire a few stories?
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna Google that today.
So I'm just saying, like, so 50 Shades of Grey is interesting, the fact that it spawned this community that basically said, we love this, and then it became a book deal, and now it's on the New York Times bestsellers.
Which is an awesome story.
All 3 books on the New York Times bestsellers, and she has a movie deal. It may be crap, but the idea that she could write something as a fan of something, and then have it turn into something bigger was kind of cool.
I used to write Highlander fan. The TV show. Yeah. The TV show with Duncan. And so I'm just wondering, like, maybe that will make me rich.
Yes. How many people have written fan fiction, whether it's erotica or not, of their favorite shows?
Yeah. What shows? Which shows? I want to hear a couple.
Okay, let's say, let's do a poll. So let's say Firefly.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Let's say Buffy.
Don't judge me, I was 12.
Magnum PI. Okay, that was embarrassing. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dr. Horrible.
Dr.
I wrote you a song about being dead and how you felt about it.
But it wasn't with me and like Bad Horse or something, right? That happened. Somebody gave me a short story at DragonCon like 2 years ago, and it was like, and she was so cute and shy. And she's like, I read some fan fiction. It's you and Bad Horse. And I was like, wait, the horse? I did not read it.
Dudley Do-Right kind of thing. The horse. Okay, anyway.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Star Wars. All right.
Okay, what do we not? Vampire Diaries.
Harry Potter.
You wrote Harry Potter. Sexy fiction? Oh, just regular.
So all the people. Oh yeah. So all the people that raised your hands, that you've written some sort of fanfic or /fic. You know, a lot of you can turn into just regular writers and TV writers, because a lot of TV writers have said in the past, like Amy Burke's always said this, she wrote for Eureka. She said the reason that she knew she was going to be a TV writer is because after she'd watch an episode of her favorite show, she'd be like, that's not how it should end. That's not the right end. The ending, I can do that better. And then she'd write something and then post it onto Usenet. Is that too old? No, the web. Yeah. Do you kids know Usenet? I was just saying, IRC. Okay.
What you want?
Gotten satisfaction from reading.
Oh, no, we're not going to talk about that.
Apparently the answer is yes, because they don't want to talk about it.
Because I have to hold books with both.
Okay, no. We try to keep PG-13. So, I'm blushing, guys. You got me to blush.
Blushometer. So we challenged our fans last episode, to do a Felicia blushometer guide based on the book and basically what I say. So, yeah.